Garaunda Group Home for Adults scheme is a residential care initiative under the National Trust, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. It provides lifelong shelter, medical care, and vocational training for adults with specific disabilities. Eligibility for individuals beneficiaries. To be enrolled in a Garaunda center, an individual must meet the following criteria. Disability category. Must have one of the 4 disabilities covered under the National Trust Act, 1999 autism spectrum disorder, cerebral palsy, intellectual disability, formerly mental retardation, multiple disabilities. Age. Must be 18 years of age or older. Mandatory documents. Valid disability certificate or UDID card. Proof of date of birth. Birth certificate. Income/BPL certificate for families seeking subsidies, LIG/BPL categories. Legal guardian LG, certificate if parents are not the guardians. Eligibility for registered organizations, ROs. Non-governmental organizations or institutions wanting to set up a Garaunda center must fulfill these requirements. Registration. Must be registered with the National Trust and under the PWD Act, 1995. Experience. Minimum 2 years of experience working with persons with disabilities, PWD, including at least 1 year with one of the 4 target disabilities. Infrastructure. Must own or have a minimum 10-year lease on the group homeland. Compliance. Must not be blacklisted by any government authority. NGO Darpun. Registration on the NGO Darpun portal is required. Funding and subsidies. The National Trust provides subsidies for beneficiaries from below poverty line, BPL, and low-income group, LIG, backgrounds. For other categories, seats are typically paid, with terms agreed upon between the family and the center. Garaunda Group Home for Adults scheme, launched by the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, aims at setting up Garaunda centers or registered organizations, RO, for all adult PWDs covered under the National Trust Act with adequate and quality care service, with acceptable living standards including provision of basic medical care from professional doctors. The objective of Garaunda scheme is to provide an assured home and minimum quality of care services throughout the life of the person with autism, cerebral palsy, mental retardation, and multiple disabilities, and ensure the following for them. Facilitate establishment of requisite infrastructure for the assured care system throughout the country and encourage assisted living with independence and dignity. Provide care services on a sustainable basis. Benefits an assured home and minimum quality of care services throughout the life of the PWD, adequate and quality care service with acceptable living standards including provision of basic medical care from professional doctors. Vocational activities, pre-vocational activities, and assistance for further training. Registered organizations, ROs, enrollment, first approval, process. Step 1. The NGO registered with the National Trust logs into the National Trust website. Step 2. The application form is available online on the National Trust website and has to be submitted online only. Application fees for enrollment in the Garaunda scheme is INR 1,000/. Step 3. After the National Trust receives the application form and the documents, these are verified. If there is any missing or incorrectly submitted information, the RO is given 15 days to resubmit it. Note: the documents related to physical verification of the RO and proposed Garaunda Center can be submitted either at the time of enrollment for the scheme at the National Trust website or even after the online application form has been submitted. If the RO fails to submit the same on time, they will be given 15 days to submit the documents after receiving notification from the National Trust. Step 4. The final decision on the application or proposal is taken after completing all necessary formalities and processes. If the RO meets the scheme criteria and requirements, the application is approved. In case of any discrepancies, the RO is informed accordingly. Step 5. Communication to the RO by the National Trust will be made within 15 days from receipt of the application. If any document is missing, the National Trust will communicate to the RO within 10 days. Step 6. If the hard copy of the form and documents is not received within 15 days of online submission, the National Trust will communicate back to the RO within the prescribed deadline. Step 7. Once enrollment is completed, a scheme ID is created for the RO, and confirmation of the same is communicated to the RO. Documents required enrollment of the PWD enrollment form. Birth certificate or date of birth proof of the PWD disability certificate. BPL certificate or income certificate of parent or guardian issued by competent authority as authorized by the concerned state/union territory for LIG or BPL family. ID proof of parent or guardian. LG certificate in case parents are not the guardians, or LG certificate if PWD 18 years of age and parents are not the guardians. Enrollment of the registered organization. RO documents fulfilling the eligibility criteria, address proof, title deed/ownership certificate/lease deed, bank details specifying the bank account now, name of the account holder, name of the bank, name of the branch and IFSC code, etc. Date of issue and date of expiry of registration of the RO under PWD Act 1995. Self-declaration by RO regarding current setup, listing out the following: existing facilities and infrastructure. Current set of activities being undertaken. Staffing including qualification and experience, scheme proposal including staffing, special educators, therapists, caregivers, support staff, 2 months. Infrastructure, activity rooms, vocational rooms, recreation rooms, medical rooms, lodging, kitchen, office, 1 month. Disability provisions, accessible premises, toilets, furniture, fixtures. Step 8. A starter kit/Garaunda handbook containing the complete details of the Gharaunda Scheme is handed over to the RO by the National Trust. Step 9. The National Trust begins the fund disbursement process for providing setup costs to the ROS. The existing Garaunda centers will also need to follow the same procedure for enrolling under the new scheme, including submission of documents and proposals. The RO will stop receiving benefits under the existing scheme and will start receiving funds under the new scheme. Enrollment of PWD at the Garaunda Center. Step 1. PWD comes or is brought to the center. Step 2. The Garaunda Center conducts an individual PWD assessment test with the help of a therapist or a counselor to understand the specific needs of the PWD. Step 3. If the PWD is orphaned, abandoned, or from a family in crisis, the RO should approach the competent district officials authorized by the state government to certify the same. There are no additional documents to be submitted for enrolling the PWD in this case. The PWD will automatically be included in the BPL category and enrolled for Nirmaya, along with registration for Garaunda. Step 3. In all other cases, a check is made to verify if the PWD is eligible for the LIG or BPL funding by the National Trust. The National Trust will generally fund based on the information